We're planting strawberries from seed so we can get a good stand for the garden this spring.
And we're making fresh lemon balm tea.
You want to trade?
No, this is way better.
Sponsored in part by DollarSeed.com for your flowers, vegetables, and herbs. All organic seeds, all only $1 a pack.
ManoreTea.com, authentic Haven brand, 100% natural soil condition for the home garden. Squirrelman Worm Farm, organic farm and gardening supply, located in Plymouth, Wisconsin. SquirrelmanWormFarm.com.
LittleSpringsSoap.com, handmade soap with simple, recognizable ingredients.
The Garden Stamp. Stamp planting for more efficient, effective, and speedy planting. Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Extra. I'm Joy Baird. Well, it's December, but that means it's time to start planting our strawberries from seed. That's right, strawberries from seed. Now, there's a couple of different methods on how to extract the seeds from your strawberries. There'll be a link in the show notes on strawberryplants.org. They've got a lot of information on that website that will answer a lot of your questions about your strawberries. Not only just planting them from seed, but also the maintenance and upkeep of them in your strawberry patch. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do that we have done. Not necessarily you have to, but we're going to plant it in one of these flats. Now, I've used antibacterial soap and scrubbed the flat out, as well as the dome here. And that's not something you have to do, but I choose to do it, and that's something we're going to do this year at the garden, because you don't want to bring in or carry over the diseases or fungus that may be in or attached to the containers that you've planted in years past. So what we've got is two different types of strawberry seeds. One is, these here are the strawberries that we have saved from our particular patch. They're June-bearing strawberries. And what's in these jars that look like some kind of weird science experiment is the strawberry seeds from the Pick Your Own patch that we went to early in June. Now, there's a couple of things you need to know about the strawberries that you're planting from seed. One being that you want to get an heirloom variety strawberries, and that's just like in your tomatoes or peppers or anything else. It's going to hold true to the parent plant. Obviously, if you can take runners from your plants like we have in this past year, that makes a tremendous difference, and you'll be able to get those plants to produce berries this coming year. These will have to wait about a year to 2 years before they really do well in the strawberry patch. Now, if you don't have heirloom variety and you just save the seeds you get from your supermarket, or as we have here, they will produce berries, but they won't produce as the mother plant. Now, some of the F1 varieties will produce relatively similar to the mother plant as well. So we've got probably a couple of hundred seeds there. And it's really simple planting. Now, if you're familiar with what red clover looks like, seeds, that's very similar to what these strawberry seeds look like. So we're going to fill this flat up with good, just compost potting mix combined here. And we're going to fill it, about 3/4 full. And there's nothing special about this. I've just got a couple, that's a lemon tree leaf that's got in there. So I'm just going to take and fill this flat up, level it off, and see where we're at on this. Now the soil there's an old onion. We'll throw that back in there. There's some composted bean husk. So we want to fill this. Now I've marked this with masking tape here and here. This side's going to be what I consider our strawberries, and that side will be the strawberries from the Pick Your Own patch. Now, the reason we saved these strawberry seeds was, as we were processing them, some of them were very ripe or overripe or beginning to rot, so we put them in a Ziploc bag, threw them in the freezer, and you want to cure your seeds as a cold time for about 2 or 3 weeks prior to planting. Well, they've been in the freezer for about 4 or 5 months now, so we're in good shape. So with that being level, I'm going to take a marker and put an arrow this way, just so I know this side is mine, and then I will know the other side is the berries that we got from the farm. So how do you plant your strawberry seeds? Well, we're going to take them all out of the bowl here, and you can see there's a lot of them in there. Now, obviously, this would be very time intensive and pretty much, crazy for me to try to space these, ½ inch or ¼ inch. So what I'm going to do is gently broadcast them over this portion of the tray here, and then dust over the seeds with a little more potting mix or compost. Now, if you have peat moss, which we don't use here, that'll also work as a top coating. So basically, I'm just going to broadcast, and then as these come up, it'll be about 2 or 3 weeks before these begin to germinate. You want to, we'll thin them out or maneuver them into other trays based on the germination rate. There's a lot of seeds here. Based on the germination rate of these. And we'll just take a handful and just gently dust over top. And you want to keep these moist. And you can put them for the first couple of days to keep the bottom warm. You can put them on top of your refrigerator, if you can put them next to a window, but you want to be sure the soil stays moist. Otherwise, these seeds will not germinate at all. You can go under grow lights as well. So now that we've got that side pretty much covered, let's look at how we're going to extract these seeds that are in these containers. Now, there's a couple of different methods of getting the seeds off of your strawberries. One would be dehydrating the berry and then flicking the seeds off. Another would be putting them in your blender with water, blending it for 5 seconds so you don't destroy the seeds, to break all the stuff up, and then you can go through a sieve, you can go through a coffee filter to drain everything but the seeds. There's many different ways, and the website on strawberryplants.org has some of the methods. Now, what we did, we took and broke the seeds up, or broke and mashed them in the Ziploc airtight bag before we put them in the water. I put them in the water, then stirred them very vigorously, ran them through a sieve, and then that got rid of all the large particles. And as you can see, we've just got some slush here. And then at the bottom, you can see all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little seeds there. Now, the way we did our seeds was, a turkey baster works really well for this. I'll just go to the bottom and I will just suck up whatever I can grab, and you can see there's seeds and there's other little particles in there. So what I've done was I will put all of them on or in the bowl, and you can see all of them. You can see all the seeds there. And what I did was I allowed it set, just in the air, and allow the water to evaporate, and then I got all the dry seeds. So that's what we will do on this method of, I'm going to wait until we get all the slime off of them, and I'm just going to let the plants or the seeds evaporate. And that's another way, more seeds there. And this may be a little more more crazy of a way to save the seeds, but it works for us, and that's all the importance that matters here. So what I'll do is I'll let this sit out for about a day or two, and it'll evaporate all the moisture, and then I can very easily sprinkle the seeds accordingly on my planting tray. I'll moisten it, and then we will hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks have strawberry seeds that we can then plant in our garden or create more strawberry beds for this spring.
Lemon balm is an herb that you can easily grow in your garden or even a container in your kitchen. It's fairly cheap to grow as well. You can get 150 seeds for just $1 through dollarseed.com, so that's something you might want to look into. And it makes a very beneficial herbal tea. It helps calm anxieties, helps calm the nervous system, it helps indigestion, and most herbal teas have some sort of benefit overall. And it's something you can make either from the fresh leaves or some of the dry leaves. So the first thing I like to do is, when I'm making teas, I like to pour some honey. I think honey, since I have this raw local honey here, there's many added benefits to that. So I'm just going to pour probably about a tablespoon or so in there. And then you can use a coffee filter, or if you have a tea ball. I don't have a tea ball, so I'm just going to use a coffee filter. And I'm going to use some of the dried leaves. And you just take a couple, not many, and you can kind of crunch them up. Pretty easy, just like that. Now you can drink this hot, like right now, you can drink it hot, or you can drink it during the summer. If you drink it during the summer, you let it steep for about 20 minutes, And then once you're done letting it steep, then you pour it over ice because it's going to be a little bit stronger. So then you just pull up your filter and you put your string around it. And I'm just using this twine we have here. And you just tie it off. And you don't have to let it steep for long. The dried stuff, because dried herbs are always stronger than fresh herbs. And you can let the herbs dry themselves, or you can oven dry them. Okay, so just another tie here. And it has a really, really fresh lemon flavor, hence lemon balm tea. So in my glass, I'm going to get some hot water. I'm only going to do about half of it because this is a large cup here. Okay. I'm going to give the honey a stir. And then put my lemon balm tea in there. And you just let it submerge. And you can let this steep for a little while, not very long. And it has, like I said, it has many different benefits, but it definitely calms the nervous system and helps with digestion. So there you have it, a nice delicious lemon balm tea that you can grow yourself, and it's something that is good for whether it be the summer or the winter or any time in between. Thanks for watching. I'm Holly Baird. Join us again for more organic gardening and food preserving. This has been the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.
For more organic gardening and food preserving, visit the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com.
The show never ends on our Facebook page. Keyword Wisconsin Vegetable Gardeners. Like the page and continue the discussion there. You can now follow us on Twitter, see what we're up to and what we're doing at the garden. The address, the W-I Veg Gardener, Gardener. You can email us at the WIVegGardener@gmail.com with your questions, comments, or suggestions about the show.